If you're getting a jump bike from Uber, you better keep it in the bike zone. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and now that Uber and Lyft are officially knee-deep into bike rentals, which I don't think anyone really wants, but hey, they're going after anyway, now comes the big question: how do you keep the bikes from going too far from where they're supposed to go? After all, they have to have permits for these bikes. They can only take them certain places, and some people might be picking up their bikes and taking them way far out of the jurisdiction, and that's not good. There's no chargers for those bikes. There's nothing they can do. Well, Uber apparently has a plan for that. They are going to charge you $25 unless you keep it in the bike zone. According to the Seattle Times, and there's a jump bike right there, Uber's bike share business, which launched in Seattle in November, lets customers unlock an electric bike for $1 and then pay just 10 cents per minute to ride it around the city. Although that should be mentioned, every 10 minutes is $1, so you're effectively renting it for $6 an hour, if my math is correct. And my math is usually very, very wrong. Cue another running joke if it is wrong. But at least for now, that's not true everywhere. Want to ride an Uber bike to Rainier Beach? That'll cost an extra $25. Want to go to Columbia City or West Seattle? $25. How about Northgate or Lake City? $25. Uber, whose red bikes operate under the brand name Jump, says it charges a $25 fee for any ride that ends outside a central bike zone that covers downtown Capitol Hill, South Lake Union, Fremont, Wallingford, and parts of the University District and Ballard. Oh, obviously, this is a Washington state and a Washington newspaper, but I suspect it's a very similar rule wherever the bikes are also, so that's one of the reasons we're talking about it. The company's app says the fee is added for bikes left outside the bike zone, not bikes that simply pass through those areas. But an Uber spokesperson said the company is not currently charging the fee. Yeah, but they're going to at one point. They're going to have to, otherwise people will just take it out of the zone all the time. Seattle's bike share regulations require companies to submit an equity plan to describe how they will reach all people in the city of Seattle, with a focus on communities of color, low-income communities, immigrant and refugee communities, among others. Uber's current bike zone notably excludes most of Seattle's most racially and ethically diverse neighborhoods. So this is what the map looks like for where the bikes are, where their zones are. I don't live in Washington or Seattle. I visited Seattle many times, and I actually love Seattle. In fact, I would probably even consider moving to Seattle if Katie did not get so depressed by the rain. I mean, seriously, it's almost, it breaks your heart, really. It rains outside, and she's like, "Where's the sun?" And she gets all depressed, so we can't go to Seattle. But I personally like the rain, so I wouldn't have minded going to Seattle, but I'm not familiar. That's the bottom line. I'm stalling. I should get back to the article. Uber noted when it launched its Seattle bike share that the initial service area would span from NW 65th Street in the north to South McLennan Street in the south, and the company is working to expand to other neighborhoods. But the bike zone and $25 fee did not previously appear on the Uber app. And south of Interstate 90, the zone is essentially a peninsula, just a few blocks wide, which serves to cover the Mount Baker light rail station. But end your ride a block or two south, east or west of the station, and you're back in the $25 fee land. Nathan Hambley, an Uber spokesperson, said the bike zone and the fee have been in place since the company launched service, but it hasn't assessed the fee yet. Although they've assessed it enough for them to settle on $25, I think that suggests that they have actually assessed this fee. They're just debating when they should implement the fee, which in all fairness is a fair question. I mean, you don't want to get this sort of thing right off the bat, but they will probably need to implement it if they can't, expand their reach of the bikes. The company said the restricted bike zone is in place to maintain an appropriate density of bikes while there are still limited number of bikes available, and also because, again, they have permits and zoning that they need to adhere to, so they can't just go wherever they want. Each bike company is allowed to have up to, oh, I love this, 6,666 bikes in Seattle. You gotta love that. But while Lime has had thousands of bikes in the city for nearly a year, Uber is ramping up slowly and has about 300 bikes so far. Hambley said the company will increase to about 2,000 bikes this month, and at the same time increase the size of its bike zone. Yeah, there's going to be bikes everywhere, I suppose. Lyft has also applied for a permit to operate a bike share business in Seattle, but has not announced when it might launch. The city, in writing its bike share regulations, listed 8 goals of the program. One of those, ensure affordable and equitable service, particularly for cost-burdened communities of color, while expanding access to opportunities. Okay, fair enough. At least 10% of a company's bikes must be in equity-focused areas, about 24 neighborhoods in North and South Seattle that had poor bike access during the city's bike share pilot period. The vast majority of those equity-focused areas are not included in Uber's initial bike zone. But the same regulations also allow companies to, at least in the short term, serve only a limited area. Uber can continue serving a limited portion of the city until May, or until it reaches 2,500 total bikes in the city, whichever comes first. According to its permit application, Uber initially planned to have 2,000 bikes on the streets from December through March, before increasing to 5,000 or more as the weather improves in the spring. But that timeline was pushed back by at least a month, as it took the Seattle Department of Transportation longer than anticipated to approve the permits. Quote, Jump plans to invest equitably across all of Seattle, Uber wrote in its application. In every city we serve, Jump is proud to be available for all residents, and we will work hard to ensure our bikes are distributed and to best serve Seattleites across the entire city. If I got that term wrong, I am sorry. Again, I am not from Seattle, although I do love going there. So there's a Jump bike. That's what it looks like. Yeah. There's just going to be a bunch of those bikes everywhere. What can I say? That's the only thing to really take away from this. Going to be a ton of bikes in Seattle and areas around it. And be careful about leaving the bike zone, because you will get fined. It's a perfectly understandable fine. I mean, I know people don't like these things. Gonna happen. Sorry to say. But anyway, what do you folks think? Do you live in Seattle? What do you think of these bikes? Do you like them? Do you not like them? I would love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even those $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and it gives you access to my exclusive Patreon-only blog. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.